Hey Space Watchers, and welcome back here from Berlin. We are at the 15th IAA Symposium on small satellites for Earth systems observation here in the beautiful location of the IHK in the middle of the city. We are reporting over the last years from this conference, and this year I asked Professor Enrico Stoll, the head of the TU Space department, what are the cool stuff to talk about, and he pointed to a moon project. So, and as I'm a moon fan, as most of you know already, he pointed me to Elizabeth Klioner. She is the project manager of one of the moon projects at the TU. Elizabeth, tell us more about it. What is it?
Hi.
And welcome, of course.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. So the moon, I guess, is one of the hot topics in space lately. So there are a lot of new cool projects going on. And we're at the chair of space technology at TU Berlin. We focus on small satellites. So we develop subsystems and also system level. So for us, going deep space, or at least to the moon, is kind of the next logical step in our system development. So in this project, which is an ESA-funded project, we developed together with 3 other partners a small satellite that shall do moon exploration. And the goal of this mission is to, unravel the geological processes that shape the moon and what minerals and particles we can find there. And with that, we want to prepare future ESA missions and exploration missions and also landing missions. And all of that, we want to do with a small set, which is very challenging and very exciting.
Okay, let's dismantle it a bit more. A small set to the moon. Okay, we have seen it already. So Rocket Labs are, I think, flew a mission on that. So how small is the small set in your definition, to start with that? And what can it do?
So our spacecraft, the current baseline, the spacecraft is around 100 kilograms of mass. So it's not a CubeSat anymore. It was supposed to be really a small set mission, CubeSat mission, but we realized quite fast that we have a pretty interesting science case, and we have 3 instruments that work independently, but together they actually make the beautiful science product, if you put it in that way. So that's why the system became a little bit bigger than initially intended.
What is the timeline of this project? So when are you about to fly?
So the project timeline is quite tight. We plan on launching in 2030. So 5 years from now.
Okay, I mean it's still some time to go. Okay, so our launcher, I mean, all of that is potentially not selected already. So, but tell us more about the mission structure and the mission concept. So you will fly then from Earth orbit along to the moon orbit, and then circle the moon orbit. What altitude are you going? What's the lifetime? All of that. I mean, what is checkpoints?
Okay, all right, let's go. So we actually assume to be transferred with either a lander or a kick stage to the low lunar orbit, since we are a small mission, and we want to stay that way. And with that mission constraints, we cannot do the transfer ourselves. So we assume that we will be injected into a low lunar orbit, and there we will commission the spacecraft and the payloads, and then we will continue. We'll do a little transfer ourselves, and our current orbit baseline has basically 2 phases. In the first phase, we will use a so-called frozen orbit, where we will lock the argument of Perloon at the South Pole and achieve very good coverage at low altitudes at the South Pole. And then in the next phase, we will move the orbit a little bit, and then use the natural drift of the argument of Perloon to get again a good coverage at low altitudes, because the orbit is eccentric and we have a very low Perloon, a higher apolloon. And with this usage of natural effects, we want to decrease station keeping costs and make it even more efficient.
So what's the lifetime you plan for?
1 year, approximately 1 year.
In the lunar orbit?
Yes. In addition to commissioning.
And how will the end of life then happen at the lunar orbit? So
That's
you just dump it, or
very interesting question. So in theory, of course, we as humanity should try to limit the amount of space debris that
Certainly.
we land on the moon, and we would definitely degrade. However, since we are a small mission, we do not have that much delta V to do any big maneuvers. So unfortunately, our MFI strategy is impact. There will be a residual of delta V to kind of navigate somewhere where we don't do damage. It's not land in an Apollo landing site.
and it's not very likely to hit any humans on the moon by 2030 or 2031.
No.
So with the delays that we heard about and the budget cuts, so let's see.
No, but
Okay.
impact is the
Okay,
priority.
great. Thank you very much. I'm quite sure we will hear from you and the mission much further in the next years to come. And so far, good luck. Enjoy this conference.
Thank
And
you.
with that, Space Watch out from Berlin. Bye.